It's the year 2077, and I'm sat on my couch surrounded by my wife, my son, and a robot while hoping for a nuclear apocalypse so I can have some sort of break. Oh look! There it is. I'll be getting that break. After all, Jason Statham took out my wife. That's half my problems gone. That's a joke. I loved her very much. We took refuge in a vault, but they froze me and Nora. As you just seen, they shot Nora and took Sean, my son. I'm to get him back. The vault seems abandoned now. This video is all about surviving the Wasteland as a sniper in survival mode. With the exception of allowing myself to punch my way out of the vault, I'm not allowed to use any weapons that aren't single fire and that have a scope. We also have access to something called VATS in Fallout, where you highlight enemies and areas on an enemy we can choose to target. We can see the chances of a successful strike, and it makes for a fun tactical way of combat. But for this video, I'm not gonna be using it. It's hard scoping my way through the game, avoiding using VATS the entire way. We just need a sniper rifle. And well, we can't get one in here. Before entering the vault, I was tasked with creating my character and assigning 21 points into the special system. That's strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Special for short. I went through and picked what to take based on the skills I wanted to unlock later. With the bobbleheads in mind, of course. Pounded the rad roach population into the ground and made it to a funny looking piece of wristwear called a Pip-Boy. This thing's used to manage inventory, stats, and see the already found locations around the map. It's also linked to vaults around the game, like the one we're in right now. Used it to open the main door and made my way back to the surface. How long's it been? Well, the robot called Codsworth says 200 years. Been a long time.
I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed. And the car, how do you polish rust?
Me and the robot searched the town for Sean. Well, the robot did. I stood outside the houses and let him fight all of the little critters because I have no weapons. Well, I did punch the crap out of this one. I need a gun real bad. I'd say my fists are fine. If you don't like it, then you can get lost. Codsworth says I should investigate the town down the road called Concord if I want to find him. It's not too far. Found a dead guy on the road to loot. And passed the red rocket, but didn't get close. There's a sniper in Concord, according to Reddit, in a house towards the back end of the town. This house looked like the one. Yep, just on the floor we have a pipe bolt action sniper rifle. It doesn't look great, but it'll do the job for now. Or at least it would, if I had any stupid ammo. It consumes .308 rounds, and we sadly don't have any. To get through the next part of the story, we really need to get some ammo. There's drama in the streets and a Deathclaw encounter really early on to deal with, so things might get interesting here. Wondered what to do for a while. A man called Preston is pinned down with some other settlers on the inside of a museum in town. I've not got much ammo for a sec, pal. He had killed the raiders on the streets from the rooftop by now, so we can loot them, but I didn't find the ammo we needed. I did poke my head into the museum, but yeah, I'm not getting through this thing. I was hoping maybe Preston would play support in here, like he did on the outside, but that's not something we can rely on in here. Went searching the town for some ammo. The church looked like a good place to go. Found a rifle up here, and a safe that I couldn't open.
Don't have any bobby pins.
There's also a nice lookout point on top. Perfect for a sniper, but not one with an empty mag. So I hit the road. I know there's a diner down the road that has a merchant with ammo there, but there's an altercation there to deal with first. Oh wait, there's a traveling trader. Trash can Carla sitting in some crap.
Yeah?
Perfect. She has 2.308 ammo for sale. That might be enough to help at the diner at least. The diner's getting hassle from 2 ruffians. I popped one in the head, making my first kill. But the headshot to the other guy didn't even take down half its health. The diner folk will finish the person off, so all's good. One had 3 rounds for my sniper. That's profit. And this is Trudy. She gives me some bottle caps for the help, which is the game's currency, and I spent 60 of them on 6 rounds of .308 ammo. We're getting somewhere now. Will this be enough to get through the museum? I can only hope. Went back to Concord and made my way inside the building Preston was held up in. First shot was an absolute failure of a shot. I can't say the same about the second one. Third shot to the guy on the left was a dud. They still have no idea where I'm at. Took him down with a 4th. Everything's about to fall apart at the seams for these suckers. We really gotta hope we find more ammo in here for the sniper, because 5 left is still not enough for what we're set to deal with. Had to use 3 shots on this guy. Missed the first 2 and hit the 3rd. I've not saved the game yet at all. In survival mode, you have to save at a bed. So I don't want to die here. And get sent back to where I just got defrosted in the vault. With just 2 shots left and 4 enemies to kill, I couldn't see this going well. I did manage to get a kill per shot and snuck around the last 2 to this duffel bag. That, to my surprise, has 6 more rounds. What luck. Still not an ideal amount, but enough to struggle through the last 2 enemies in the building. It took 2 shots to get this melee attacker down. I missed the first shot. Then I got the last guy with another wasted shot. Preston, that was a struggle. And we're not in the clear yet. He wants help clearing Concord with the streets filling up with raiders outside. Oh, we also have bobbleheads scattered around the map like this one. This one permanently raises perception by 1 point. We'll get more of these later. The plan is to get a fusion core from this generator in the museum downstairs and stick it into this set of rusty power armor on the roof. A vertebird conveniently crashed up here. I ran with the power armor over to the other side of Concord and ran down the street for the Deathclaw encounter. She pops out of the sewers here, and I legged it back to safety in a building it's too big to get into. Figured we'd let the Raiders and Deathclaw duke it out. The Raiders were no problem for the Deathclaw. The Deathclaw, however, was a problem for us. Found some .308 ammo while undetected. Still not much, but I'll take it. I was here for a long time. Like a long time, trying to deal with this lady. Using psycho meds to do more damage, and sneak attacks to get that little bit extra. I ran out of ammo, and got her awkwardly hunting me through this building so Preston could get some shots from the museum roof on her. Took a while, but she's dead, and I'm relieved and out of ammo again. Not to mention being tired, hungry, and thirsty as crap. This Mama Murphy character seems to think I should check Diamond City if I want to find my son Sean. Preston also plans on using the town I came from as a settlement so he can travel with them to make the walk back safer. We need to do some things there anyways. Well, I say that as I run ahead and got stuck on a car running away from a rad roach. Just waiting on the gang to turn up to help. Preston has almost an endless supply of settlements he thinks need help, but I'm not here for that right now. Fallout 4 has a settlement building system, and I find it a lot of fun, despite not being very good at building at all in this game. I still have a good time with it, and that's all that matters. I don't plan on having this place be my main base. I kinda want something more in the middle of the map, but I did get a sink built to get water from. We can also fill any empty bottles I found while scavenging, and fill them up right here. Along with the sink, I made a bed to sleep at. Since we can only save at these things, we'll need to make them everywhere we can. You can obviously find them scattered around the map naturally, so hitting them up when I can is important. Google says I need 7 hours of sleep to be well rested. Living in the dark at the minute. We can cook food at these cooking stations. Mostly rad roach meat and other bugs. Okay, let's make our way over to Diamond City. I'm gonna sneak the entire way there. Yep, it's gonna take me all day, but it's safer this way. Ran into some mongrel dogs. I thought this would be the end of me, but I outmaneuvered them, jumping down to the side of the water, losing them. Normally you go over the bridge here, but I can't see an easy way back up with the rabid doggos back there looking for me. So we'll have to swim a little bit to get to the other side. The water is radiated, but we won't be in it for long enough to cause too many problems. Rads will lower your overall health until you get yourself fixed up with meds or see a doctor. Remember, do you have a flashlight in this game? That would have been helpful the first half of the night. I made it to Diamond City, but they have a mutant group attacking them. They don't really need my ammo-less help, so I just stood around until they took them down and looted what I could from the Fallen to sell. Diamond City's locked down. They have orders to not let a reporter called Piper into the city. But we lie about me having some nice goods to sell to get the gate open. The city is built around a baseball pitch and is pretty impressive. It's the main hub of the game. The mayor's not happy with Piper, but I'm to go talk to Nick Valentine, the detective of the town, to see about finding my son. Rented a room in the town's hotel to wake the town, and uh-oh, there's drama. Someone's being accused of being a synth or something. The guard shoots the aggressor. What a welcome. I'm hoping to buy some ammo from Arturo, the town's gun merchant. Oh, 36 rounds! That's a significant amount compared to what I'd had to work with recently. Nick Valentine, the detective's not here. He went out on some work and hasn't been seen since. His lady friend thinks he went out to a gang hideout at Park Street Station. She says there's a vault down there the gang uses as a base. I had an illness to fix at the doctor's place before I leave. Doesn't cost much, and I even picked up an antibiotic from him. We can use that to fix more lethal illnesses on the road when there's no doctors around. Alright, let's hit the road for that vault. Plenty of enemies to avoid on the way. Being a sniper, we're going for a sneaky build, of course, so I continued to sneak my way to avoid anything I could, with still not having a massive pool of ammo to work with. Oh, I guess we better spend these perk points too. I have 4 built up. Taking rifleman, so we do 20% more damage with non-automatic rifles. I think I want snipers, so we have improved control and can hold our breath longer while aiming with scopes. Strong back, so we can carry 25 more points worth of loot. And lastly, sneak, so I'm harder to detect. Getting down to the station was pretty easy. I didn't run into any trouble, thankfully. The station itself is going to be home to the biggest gunfight I've had so far. But we'll be fine. Hopefully. This is Skinny Malone's gang. A bunch of submachine gun wielding thugs who have no idea I'm here. Picking one off and retreating to lose their attention is all it takes to get through most of them. They seem to not care about their dead friends on the ground around them and go back on about their business. There is beds down here in some good locations for saving, and I made it all the way to the vault, staying mostly hidden. Opened up the vault with 20 rounds to spare, but little did I know that would be nowhere near enough. I got shot for the first time, and man, did it hurt, like you'd expect. Ran for safety and popped a stim pack to heal. Came back for revenge. That one felt good. Yeah, slowly making my way through, it started to become apparent my ammo supply is not going to get me all the way through, but I kept going until it became an issue. Even found Nick locked up behind a door. I used a terminal to get him out and lended a hand dealing with Skinny Malone. Well, I will later. I got a bobblehead for speech, so traders permanently have 100 more gold for bartering. But it's all for nothing, because I had to die to get out of the vault, going back to a previous save and go get more ammo. This just isn't working. I've got no ammo and Nick can't do it all alone. Sneaking back to Diamond City with a plan. I'm gonna create a sniper with this other pipe rifle that uses a different kind of ammo. An ammo that's much more accessible, but does less damage. At the workbench near Arturo, we can add a long barrel to this guy and a scope. He has 469.308 rounds for sale. That's the rounds the new sniper will use, and we'll sort our ammo situation right the heck out. But like I said, the gun does less damage than the .308 round weapon. We'll keep both of them on us for now. Making it back to the station despite having a nice chunk of ammo was no easy feat. I got spotted a few times and... What the f*** is that? Oh, I'm dead. Yeah. I had Swan to deal with. Some sort of mutant beast living near the station that kept spotting me. Snuck around the other side of it, back to the station. Did all of the Nick Valentine rescuing all over again, but this time around I could help with the escaping. We had an altercation with Skinny Malone at the entrance to the vault. He's blocking our way out. A shootout breaks out, and his lady friend pounds me into the ground with a baseball bat. Luckily, I had a save point in the vault's bed, so a quick walk upstairs to try again was all it takes to get back there. Spammed rounds into the lady and popped off on the submachine gun lovers. They're dead, and we made our escape out of a ladder Nick had located that takes us to the surface. Together, we walked back to Diamond City, fighting off the wildlife, avoiding all of the mutants patrolling. Now down to business in Diamond City. Told him about my missing son. Told him about that Jason Statham fella who took him, and got to talking about something called the Institute, a hugely hush-hush organization that Valentine thinks has something to do with this whole thing. Jason Statham has a home in the city, if you can believe it. I just had to manipulate the town's leaders into giving me a key and go sniffing around the house. Or rather, get a dog to do all of the sniffing for us. I found a brand of cigars, and we'd not met Dogmeat yet, but this friendly guy is going to help us track down where the guy that killed my wife's at. Let him have a whiff of the cigar, and we are off. But not with Dogmeat. I'm not sure how it's going to go fighting half of Hobbs and Shaw, so I kind of want to go do some Minutemen jobs for Preston. He asks for help, helping out settlers in distress around the Wasteland. I think there's a bobblehead here. This is the bridge I went under earlier after being chased by some dogs. There's a boat alongside the middle with some raiders, and we should be able to pick off all of them hanging around from a distance. They have terrible aim from over there. That should be all of them. But I was wrong about the bobblehead. I couldn't find one here, sadly, but I did get this magazine. Feels 50% more from fruits and vegetables. First up with settlement helping is 10 Pines Bluff. Say day 6 was a mess would be putting it lightly. The settlement wanting help isn't far from Sanctuary, the town I'm originally from. But after talking to this lady at the settlement needing help and being told we need to help her take out some raiders, I accidentally smacked her with my weapon. Yep, I hit the wrong button. I had to take them down and fail the quest. From helper to raider. Might as well take their potatoes. You wouldn't believe it, but Preston gave me a promotion. Yep, I'm the new general after that successful mission. He gave me the location of the next settlement. This one's called Oberlin Station. I'll head there in a minute. First, I want that Wasteland survival magazine that makes us be able to collect more meat from killed animals. It's around this direction from Sanctuary, but maybe not that far. Just gotta walk on over and find it. This place is also a buildable settlement. It has the magazine just in this building. Take out these ghouls and grab the sucker from the ground. That will make keeping fed much easier. Cleaned out the rest of the settlement and made sure to make a water supply and a bed to rest up and save while I'm here. Oh, what do we have over here? Are you friendly? Nope, not friendly. Okay, I'm sorry. For not shooting you on sight. He was guarding a fridge. I don't blame him for getting angry, honestly. No snacks in here, just some caps and a laser pistol. Sad times. Now off to that settlement. Following this track a ways takes us right to it. Tried my best not to shoot up the place. Hey. Put my weapon away and click the buttons gently. They're having raider trouble, just like the last settlement. They want me to clear out the Corvega assembly plant. This place is massive, riddled with enemies inside and out. Got into a nice sniping position on a bridge in front of the plant and took out as many as I could before going in. Took down every single one I could see, but there's still so many to deal with I can't see and hiding out on the inside. Thankfully, there's a bed up here to save progress. Someone must have been camping out up here at some point. I was here for a long time. Got so insanely close to the end and even cleared out the main guy, completing the objective. But what did I do? I continued the flip on and paid for it. Died to a turret I didn't spot, shooting some canisters that blew up. I looked at the bed I respawned at for about 4 minutes before getting the courage to go back in and do it all again. This time around, making sure to take down the 2 turrets I didn't see after killing the main guy. There's the one that got me. Down it goes. Scaled the outside while I was here because I knew there was a bobblehead here. I know I've said that before and I've been wrong, but I'm positive this time. It's not a useful one for me really, but oh well. It makes fusion cores permanently last 10% longer. But I'm not really using power armor in this run, so that doesn't matter. Oh, what? I found a new sniper rifle. Recon calibrated powerful pipe rifle. Look at the scope on this thing. It does more damage than the .38 sniper I'd been using and uses the same ammo, so I'll swap over to this and keep the .308 for when I need to do more damage in a single shot. And well, when I actually have ammo for it. Traveling through the night to make it back to the settlement to let them know the good news. I keep forgetting to use this flashlight. It'll do me some good having it on at night. Told the settler in charge about what murderous deeds I got up to, and they were grateful and even said they'd join the Minutemen. I was frightened my life by a mole rat at this junkyard. I thought I'd cleared it out for good earlier and could use it as a resting point along the way to Sanctuary, but I clearly missed one. That should be all of them now. Fingers and toes crossed. It's good to make a mental note of where beds are throughout the game. You pass by lots as you travel around, and you want to be saving any chance you get in survival mode. Oh, looks like the diner's having more trouble again. Okay, I'll pop this guy for them. These poor guys have it rough out here. No reward for helping this time, but Trudy always has a few rounds I could use for sale, so I can't complain. Returned to Preston to complete the quest I had going at that settlement needing help, and was given a task to clear out Starlight Drive-In, just past Concord. Clearing it should be easy, with that just being a mole rat infestation there. I love the thought of using this place for a main home. It's got a tall looking area where movies would get projected onto, and we can climb up and use it as a sniper lookout. Not that we'd necessarily have to ever, but still a fun roleplay location. It's got somewhere to get drinks over here, and if we go on in, oh crap, yeah, dead, and I'm back at Sanctuary. I had to redo the mole rat clearing. Yeah, so now this place is a buildable settlement. The game teaches you about making recruitment beacons and giving them power to attract new settlers to live here. I spent a good bit of time goofing around at this location. Like I said, I'm not great at the settlement building, but I do enjoy it a lot. First clearing out a lot of the debris and stuff I don't want. We can use the resources from scrapping these things to make new structures. Ooh, our first settler.
It's not exactly paradise, but what is, right?
Make yourself
Some
at
hard
home,
work, I
lady.
think,
I'll keep some of the original cars that were here for decoration, but I'll remove a good bunch. This went on well into the night. I got ill too, and was taking occasional damage from it, so I took that antibiotic I bought earlier to be safe. There's a nice tower on the diner side too for a lookout. They got down some of these box cars in a row, and we'll use these as janky bedrooms. Some simple stairs to get up and throw down some beds for new settlers. We also need water for settlers. I got down 2 water purifiers in this water source in the middle of the settlement, but only had enough resources to make power for one of them. One's plenty for a minute. I'll hook up the other one later when I get more resources. Move the recruitment beacon to the box cars and threw down a guard tower to assign new settler to. Planted what crops I had on me, and that's everything in the green up there. We need more settlers for sure. We'll have to come back in a bit to see if we got anything going on. That's a good start. Day 10's about to be a complete car crash of a day, but as of right now, I'm oblivious, spending my perk points. I'm taking the second rifleman, so we do 40% more damage with non-automatic rifles and ignore 15% of a target's armor. Then I want the second sneak, so we're harder to detect, and no longer trigger floor-based traps. We could have done with that back at the Starlight Drive-In. Stupid minds. Lastly, I'm moving over to Lady Killer. Taking 2 points into this, so women suffer 10% more damage from me in combat, and are easier to persuade in dialogue. Real quick, if you're still watching by this point, I'm gonna assume you're enjoying the video. If that's the case, I would appreciate a like. It costs you nothing, and it lets me know you want to see more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching. Right, let's get on with this crappy day. What made it crappy was the walk over to the Green Top Nursery, which is the next settlement Preston has his eyes on us helping. It's pretty far to the east, and travel was not fun. Tried dodging all threats I could keep into myself, but this dandy long legs looking bug was having none of it. Killed me so close to my objective. Then, the second attempt at the walk had me run into this monstrous looking lobster. I know I'm a one-tap from this guy if I'm a one-tap from a dandy long legs. I ran to a town full of what seemed to be friendly robots. Well, friendly to me, anyway. Not a clue what's going on here, but the explosions came hard and fast. They nuked the lobster, and I'm not gonna complain about it. I made it! They want some ghouls cleared out, not far from here. I've not slept since Sanctuary, and these beds are owned. I also can't build my own beds since I'm not allied with this settlement yet. Scary times. There's a bus ahead, and look at my luck. Sleeping bags in here. Hostiles around. Uh-oh. I waited quietly inside, hoping whatever was out there would get lost, but then a raider pops his stupid head into the bus, giving me a scare of a lifetime and a death to remember. Made it to Diamond City day 12, getting healed up by the dock, and getting rid of rads and such. I got me another antibiotic for the road while here, but I'm actually here because I'd like to join the Railroad, a secret underground faction who look out for synths, and think they should be treated better than they are. I'm after Tinker Tom's wares he has for sale there. I remember he has a nice sniper for sale we could make use of. To get to the Railroad, we go back towards the station we rescued Valentine from earlier. Rest up here, just in case. Now we have this sign outside saying, "Journey's End, follow Freedom's Lantern." We have these little signs on the floor to find with a code written on them. It has a letter and a number connected to it. So the number is the order you put the letter, and ultimately it spells out the word Railroad. You follow this red brick road to them, and it'll lead you to the railroad in the end. I was following this road for a long time. Not that it takes long to walk to, and from the railroad along the trail, but the enemies along the way and playing in survival mode had me wanting to clear some bad guys ahead, and return to the last bed I found to save the progress, to not have to do the last 10 minutes all over again. I made it to Good Neighbor. This is another town in the Wasteland, and well, it's not as inviting as some of the others.
Hey, hold up there. First time in Good Neighbor? You can't go walking around without insurance.
It's one of the least friendly introductions to a somewhat.
Why'd you have to go and say that, huh?
I'm here to sleep and save progress, but also get me a follower. Rented a room at the hotel here. You even bump into a ghoul, who turns out to be the Vault Tech rep that sold us the spot in the vault 200 years ago. He got to the future the hard way, not having access to the vault himself. He seemed down. I offered him a place to live at Sanctuary. I'd offer him a place at the Starlight Drive right now if it was an option. It's not an option here. I'll move him on
Excuse
over
me.
later. Right, I've slapped. Now over to the third rail entertainment building. MacCready is an interesting follower option. He's hireable for 250 caps, and made an appearance in Fallout 3 previously to his Fallout 4 appearance. He's a child in that game, so he's been doing this thing for a while now. Hiring him, he's also got a sniper rifle as his main weapon, so he's perfect for this playthrough. I know we can get Deacon soon as a follower too, but I want this guy's help for now. Continued on through Good Neighbor, following the Freedom Trail to the railroad. Again, I was here for absolutely ages trying to get to it. I died a lot on the way, and when I did kill 5 or so enemies, I'd return back to my last save location to keep my progress saved and up to date. Yep, that'll need a stim pack for sure. You have to heal followers with stim packs, or they'll return to where you got them from. The trip to the railroad took about 2 hours. I'm not even joking. It really shouldn't have, but all the dying and saving ate up a lot of my time. This church was the end goal of the trail. There's some ghouls to deal with on the inside, and a tunnel to follow below it. Again, full of ghouls. Gotta be careful. This restarting after death is brutal. Really don't want to die. This is the end of the trail. All we do is spin this thing around and hit the middle for each letter, spelling out the word railroad. Secret doors opening up, and on the other side, I'm met by the railroad themselves. They tell me what they're all about. I lie, saying I'd die for a synth. I'd absolutely not die for a synth. And they send me on a job with this guy, Deacon, to get a chance to join the railroad. I'm to meet him near Lexington at a bridge there. Retraced my steps to Good Neighbor so we can rest up and save at the bed. I think I want to check back in at the base to see if we'd had any luck with new recruits, since it's very close to where Deacon wants me to meet him anyways. Slapped her and MacCready flippin' died on the roof of the boxcar some reason. Went down, I mean. Super dumb. The camp's under attack by raiders too. This is awful. Tried to get to MacCready, but I fell between the boxcars and the movie structure and died. Second attempt was better. Sneakily helped the camp from the side, taking shots, and jumped the top of the structure to get to MacCready and heal him up. We had 4 settlers here, but 1 died in the attack. That's 3 left over, if you suck at math. Assigned 1 to the food I'm growing, so he harvests it for us, and built some new defenses, so we're better equipped for attacks like that. As for Deacon, it turns out we're here to go through the railroad's old base to get a prototype. It's a mysterious, possibly stealth-related technology they left behind. We're to expect aggro from some early-stage synths there. I slapped her on the bridge, and Buttface MacCready fell through the bridge, going down again, and when I found my way down, he thought I was too far away and decided it's time to leave me. What a waste of 250 caps. He's gone back to Good Neighbor. Going through the sewer that's the railroad's old base. Again, killing some and running back out to save up on the bridge where I found a bed. The synths there are scary, and tough as all get out. Got a couple perk points to spend. I'm taking Strong back too to carry more stuff. And Medics, so our stim packs restore 40% of our lost health. And Runaway removes 40% of radiation. Back into those sewers we go. I find it funny the railroad are a bunch of synth lovers, and the first thing they have me do is go shoot at some old-timer synths. Once again, taking my time trying to eat as little damage from them as possible. I never realized how much I relied on VATs in this game until I'm not allowed to use them at all. I abuse the heck out of the VAT system normally, and I feel hugely not ready for anything that comes my way really. I'm having fun taking my time. You notice more of the game's little details this way, and it's really getting my brain going more too. I have one of those. Ooh, this gave me a permanent sneak buff. I'll take it. The prototype was around some stealth boys. It's called Carrington's prototype. Deacon also gives me a hand cannon of his dead buddy, Tom. It's called the Deliverer, and it's a super nice pistol, but we won't be using it for this character, of course. Fought my way out, and now we have to get back to the railroad. I'm gonna spend some time at the Starlight Drive-In before we do that. They're having issues with the wildlife. We really need some walls around this place. Spent practically all of day 15 around this area, building up junk walls and gates around. I'm not sure this really does much, but I guess it'll focus us on entrances enemies come through. Crowd control will be nice. Ran out of resources pretty quick, but the walls get in there. About 40% of the area is covered. Maybe 30%. It's a good start. We really need some wood. I figured we'd head back to Sanctuary and snipe some of the settlers there. I can send Preston over to the Starlight Drive-In and some other settlers. I took like all of the resources from here back too. Screw this place. Bad memories. Codsworth helped me carry what was here, but it still wasn't enough to do much with at the Starlight Drive-In. I could have stripped Sanctuary of all of its trees. I should have. Working through the night, doing just that with Codsworth. I won't go super heavy into scrapping, just the trees and other big things like these buildings. There's so much to take, and I might be back if I need more in the future. The big thing here is traveling back and forth between Sanctuary and Starlight Drive. It's not far, but the resources me and Coddy scrapped weigh a lot altogether. So it's about a lot. It's a lot of trips back and forth, okay? It's okay though, playing a runner temporarily is far less stressful than fighting through storylines, dying every 2 seconds, getting sent back to previous saves. I'm fine. I love the pain, really. I'm aware I'm still in my vault suit, by the way. I'm getting attached to it. I should change it up to something that will help me not die a lot, but we'll see. I'm hugely sentimental in video games. Just depends on the day. Today will be the last day I work on the base for a while, I promise. I want to finish these walls now that I have the wood and add a few more things too. Okay, there's the walls done. All the way around. Looking good. Looking good. I want to move these guard towers into the walls so they fit nicely and allow us to go up and snipe the enemies like those ghouls over there. They're a one shot and I feel very safe in here. Safest place in the Commonwealth. Except not really. Got a turret up here to help fight if anything gets inside the walls. Oh, I can hook up this water purifier to some power now real quick too. There we go. Add onto these box cars so we can put more beds in these little new sections. Thinking about adding scaffolding towers in some areas for some more high ground too. Couple chairs up on top for the lookouts to sit on. Also made a outside tent area so we can throw down some sleeping bags for additional beds. Spent a lot of time here lately. I had a lot of fun, but we better get out of here. I'll come back in a week or so to see how it's getting on with the recruiting. We're up to 8 people so far. Struggled my way back to the railroad early hours day 18. I won't tell you how long it took me to get here this time. Might as well be called Pain Simulator over here. Deacon praised me up to Desdemona, and I'm accepted into the railroad. Codenames are apparently not optional, and I'm forced to be called Wanderer. I'm introduced to the rest of the group, gave the prototype to Carrington, but the main reason I'm here is for Tinker Tom. He's one of my favorites in here, and not just for his wares. He's given me a shot of battery acid to remove the mini robots he thinks I've consumed that's in the Wasteland's food. He says they report information back to the Institute. Why not? The sniper I want is good if you use VATS because it has an effect that means if you're not in combat, increases the VATS accuracy but costs more AP. Not helpful to us, but it's still easily the strongest sniper per round I've found so far. It's a little out of my budget though. Cheaper than I thought it would be, I'd admit, but still not quite got enough caps saved up for it. A job or 2 more and I'll be there. I can get Deacon as a follower now, but he doesn't seem to be using a sniper as his weapon, so I'm a little against using him. I sent him to Starlight Drive in for the time being. That place could do with the extra protection. The quest is a rather stressful one. I'm to clear out a church and meet some railroad people there at nighttime. I waited on a bench for nightfall and had a chat with a man named Old Man Stockham. He has a synth he needs smuggled. A little later, this guy called High Rise turns up, telling me we're sneaking the synth through the town to a place, a big tower place that I can't pronounce its name. It's a big skyscraper looking place, raiders along the way. I found this quest much less stressful in this playthrough than previous ones. Not too much drama, just a few raiders to kill and bam! We're here. He says I can use the safe house myself to rest up on my travels, and I'm for sure taking him up on that offer. I know, in my past playthrough I was here a lot, and I'm sure this one will be no different. Not much to say about day 19. I was running out of food and decided to go hunting bugs and other things to eat. Funnest thing I did was set off a load of explosions on this bridge. Fire and explosions in Fallout 4 are really well done. I love it. I didn't find much in terms of food, sadly. I found enough, but less than I had liked. A mole rat cave was the best find. Played Exterminator some and got some nasty meat for my troubles. OBS, my recording software, crashed on me at the end of day 22, so I lost 3 days of footage. It's very unfortunate, because I bought this sniper finally off Tinker Tom. But other than that, all we really missed out on for the video was some more railroad quests that really weren't that special. I thought it would be a good idea to investigate all the factions. I've met the Minutemen already, I've met the Railroad, and now the Brotherhood of Steel here. I just helped them fend off some ghouls. These guys are big into finding and hoarding old tech for themselves. Paladin Dance wants my help getting some tech. I'm to follow him to a place called Arc Jet Systems, where he'll get a hairdryer or something. I don't know. I'm bored already. See ya, Dance. Not really. I want to go back to the junkyard I found a bed in earlier to save my progress on the way. This is one of my main save places. It's placed conveniently between a few areas I visit often. Caught Dance lacking through my scope. He's stuck on a tiny hill. This sniper is very good, but ammo is in short supply, so I'll try to not use it much until I buy some more. Gantz is also a bit of a beast, as you'd expect with that tank he's walking around in. Even the arc-jet systems being full of synths, he just does not seem to be phased in the slightest. I just stood back and watched, playing support. But I'm gonna be honest, it was all him in here. I let out some friendly fire blasting the crap out of him, and some synths using a jet engine looking thing. Sorry about that, Dance.
Oh my god, are you alright? Got cooked by those flames.
He'll be fine, which is more than I can say for the synths he's having his way with up there. This guy is awesome. We got some tech from a fallen synth and left through an elevator to the surface. We chat about me potentially joining the Brotherhood of Steel. All of these factions have it out for the Institute, and we do chat about them at all of their respective quests for one reason or another. I know how the story goes, and I think ultimately I'll end up with the Institute themselves, but we'll see. I went back to the police station, where I met the Brotherhood to get my first orders. My next orders, I should say. I'm to help the Brotherhood's other soldiers with a job. I picked Talon since she seemed nice. She wants me to recover a haptic drive at Trinity Plaza. Some raiders lingering around near that skyscraper high-rise set I could use. I'm using Tinker Tom's sniper to pick off some here and there. It's mostly a one-hit kill on them if I get a sneak attack in. Though a melee guy snuck up on me, forcing me to retreat. I'll get more of them later. Need to rest up at this high-rise building. I love this place. Took the chance to sort out my issues while I was here. Fixed my rads, health, hunger, and thirst. I think I managed to get the last couple of raiders this morning too. This will make getting around that building much easier. Let's get off to Diamond City. I just wanted to sell some gear and buy more ammo for my new sniper from Arturo. I got 36 more rounds, so we don't have to be so careful firing that sniper. Okay, let's get this piece of tech for the Brotherhood. The location is fairly easy. Just a few mutants and a hound. The hound scared the life out of me, by the way. And I practically turned my pipe sniper into a machine gun, spamming shots into its side to kill it. Took down the last mutant and even got a magazine here that made me permanently do more damage to mutants. But more importantly, I got the piece of tech that I'm almost certain is a hairdryer this time. Better get it on back to the police station. Now that we've helped one of the other soldiers, Dance wants to talk about a bigger mission. Recon teams don't have it easy at all out here. Some don't come back. I'm to go investigate what happened to one of them that didn't return. Just checking in on the Starlight Drive before we do that. Looks to all be in the green and everyone's happy. We have 9 people here now. I'm not sure what the max is, but I want more. Oh, we got dogs. That turret is working out good. Maybe getting in some more would be a good idea. I'll do that a little bit later. I have to listen to this distress signal to find out what happened to the recon team. This one's taking me to a ruined house, where the Brotherhood seem to have ruined their power armor to stop other bad guys getting a hold of it. The entire quest has you following distress signal after distress signal. All the signals are coming from fallen soldiers. I'm telling you, the thing that freaks me out the most in this game is the ghouls. They're pretty fast, and the sounds they make get me good. So many things well done in this game. Unlike me, I'm not well done. I'm just dead. The signals took me to a mutant camp. Got a good vantage point and picked them off around the sides at a distance. Only issue was this Tinker Tom special sniper is running low on ammo again. I have lots in the pipe sniper still, but this one's making short work of the mutants. And I'm not feeling using the pipe sniper against the tougher ones. So I took the chance to visit Diamond City to buy some more. Healed up while I was here since I was tired as heck. Hungry and thirsty too. I've also been living with an illness that doesn't seem to be damaging my health over time. I forgot to fix it here, but that's a thing. Oh, I also have some perks to spend. I have 5 to use, but I'm only spending 3 for now. I need to either invest into the special stats or get some bobbleheads going to get some other perks I plan on getting. Taking the 3rd Lady Killer and the 3rd Sneak. Lastly, I'll grab the 2nd Sniper, so we have a chance to knock down our targets when we hit them. Good for when we're in a panic and we need to slow our pursuers down. I got my ammo and got my butt back to take out those mutants. Found a nice viewpoint on a broken bridge and got to work. Starting to get into my groove with this build now. The last distress signal was from this very, very dead guy. Something about a bunker. Let's go find that bunker. Doing some hunting on the way. Always need the food in survival mode. Gonna make some grilled rad stag out of this poor guy. The bunker's way up north. Almost as far north as you can go on the map. And all I can remember from a previous save was getting into a fight with a paladin in there. I wasn't taking any chances. Popped off on the raiders trying to get into the bunker. And even took a shot at the old paladin inside. What's going on? I have no idea. All I know is this guy's pleaded with me to stop. I did not. He's dead, and we can report back to Dance. All I told Dance was that everyone along the distress signal was dead.
Is there anything else
I'm not lying. I did hand over their holotapes to return to their loved ones. I
Yes,
thought
I'll
this was the end of the jobs at the
make it
police
back.
station, but I was
I'll see that
wrong.
the tapes-
I'm to get another job from someone here.
right
I picked
here. Don't come
Reese
back until
this
the
time.
job's done.
He gave me a location to target and said not to come back until everything that calls it home is terminated. And what calls it home? A ton of ghouls. It's a metro station, overran with the jerks. I was oblivious at this point of the fact that the Pridwin won't even be accessible until we progress the main story past Kellogg's demise. The quests I'm doing for the Brotherhood right now won't advance my ranks at all, and I'll stay stuck on the ground. So, I unknowingly press on killing ghouls, and clearing areas and going after bits of tech. This went on for a while before I clicked what was going on. Getting some nice XP from the jobs at least. Even started wearing some different gear. Trying to fit in a little bit better in the Wasteland with my raider arm pieces and fashionable glasses. I got McCready back for the third time since I was passing Good Neighbor again.
Time to hit the road.
Hopefully it lasts a little bit longer with me this time around. It was about here in General Atomics being chased out of the door by an angry Mr. Handy and getting smacked the crap out of on the other side that I thought to check about the Pridwin appearance not happening until the end of the Reunions quest. I was so avoiding doing that quest, but I can avoid it no longer. Or can I? I can, but I won't. When I left the main questline earlier, we had Dogmeat sniff on some cigarettes or cigars Kellogg left behind to see if we could track him down. I caught up with Dogmeat and followed a trail through the Commonwealth, fighting all sorts of baddies on the way and losing McCready, having him fall off a bridge again. This guy does not have a good time with them at all, always falling off bridges. Stimpacked him and kept on moving. Again, fighting plenty of enemies on the way to this place. This is Fort Hagen, and Dogmeat thinks this is where the trail to Kellogg ends. We encounter the biggest swarm of synths here we've come across so far. And well, my backup's nowhere to be seen. McCready's gotten himself lost again, so I left and retraced my steps all the way back to that bridge where I found him still chilling in the water. He was somehow set to not follow me. That's weird. Got my butt back to Fort Hagen with McCready and started moving up the stairs. There's a Protectron locked up here. You can hack this terminal to release it. And these things are really not a big fan of troublemakers. It shot up the synths pretty good and took out a solid number of them before I had to do anything. Then when it was my turn, I made sure to just kill a few and retreat back to a bed to save. This place has a lot of beds to save the game at, so I'm not too worried about that. Kellogg must be watching through the cameras. He starts talking over the speakers as you're making it through the place. He was calm. Very calm. I made it to the room he was watching from. He told his synths to hold fire, but I was doing no such thing. Popped a synth in its stupid head and fled for cover. To say the first attempt went bad would be putting it lightly. Kellogg made me pay, putting a bullet in my head and a nade on my corpse for good measure. I took some Psycho the next time around. It boosts damage, and I got a sneak attack on Kellogg himself, taking down half of his health, and ran for safety to lose aggro. My companion went down and needs healed. That guy is not worth a damn. But this second shot, it's worth all of them. Got the killing blow on Kellogg when he thought I'd left, and picked off the rest of the synths. Even got to McCready and healed him before he had a chance to run off back to Good Neighbor again. The character mentions Kellogg being more machine than human after looting his body. So you find a cybernetic brain augmenter and his terminal password. Use the password to crack into his terminal and discover these notes, saying the boy Sean successfully delivered back to the Institute. Payment received. New orders to track down Renegade. Gathered reinforcements. Cleared out and secured Fort Hagen. We move out soon. We better go tell Nick Valentine. Now, leaving Fort Hagen, the Brotherhood of Steel make their presence known in a display of force, flying the Pridwin over the Wasteland. Now we can move up the ranks, I think. But first, to the detective's office I go. Hyper's pressing him about me.
Well, well, speak of the devil.
You're back. And not with your son. What happened?
You think we could use that cybernetic brain thing from Kellogg to access his memories and see how to get to the Institute that way? There's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den where we can relive past moments in our minds. Hopefully, with a chunk of his head in hand, we can relive some of Kellogg's. That's the reunion's quest complete. I think I will go relive those memories before we get back to the Brotherhood stuff. The walk to Good Neighbor is easy at this point. The way's clear, and I've made the trek a load of times. I've not been into the Memory Den in this run, though. It's an odd place. People use it for, well, you could imagine what sort of stuff. But I'm here to attach Kellogg's brain to Nick Valentine. It didn't work how he'd hoped. He had to act as a host, while I went in and went over the memories. Turns out Kellogg had quite the life himself, and is a bit of a badass.
Shutting down.
I learned Sean was in fact taken to the Institute, and they used teleportation to get into the Institute itself. I also learned of a scientist runaway called Virgil, who fled to the Glowing Sea. Glowing Sea is the most radiated location on the map. It'll be rough if we want to get there. I took a trip back home to Starlight Drive, putting in some more beds and turrets to protect the joint. I'll go to the Glowing Sea, but for now, let's go see the Pridwin. Reinforcements have finally arrived at the police station for the Brotherhood of Steel, and I'm shipped off on a vertibird. We have access to a minigun, but obviously we won't use it in this playthrough. You don't really need it anyways. The pilot points out how different the Commonwealth looks from the sky, and he's not wrong. This is one of my favorite things about this game, is getting to fly from place to place with the vertibirds. It's a lot of fun, but I've made it to the Pridwin, a massive metal ship that houses the Brotherhood of Steel faction. The bird posts up on the Pridwin and we can get to work meeting my fellow soldiers. They don't know it yet, but I don't really care for them and won't be sticking around for that long.
So, you're the one Paladin Dance has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
I think I've already proven that you're wrong.
I met Bossman Maxon. These guys are pretty cool, but I'm Team Institute in this one. I spent some time meeting the other members, trying to not get too attached to any of them. I can't remember if I have to take them all down, joining the scientists down under. Maxon's ready to send me on a big assignment. He wants me to go to Fort Strong to clear out the super mutants. He thinks they're close enough to smell and doesn't like it. They're also sitting on a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells the Brotherhood could use. We typically use a vertibird to circle the island, clearing them out with a minigun. But I want to avoid that and use my sniper rifle. This quest was a cluster if I ever seen one. I took a vertibird to the ground and traveled over by foot to start sniping the mutants at a distance. This wasn't really a problem. It took a long time because I was killing a few and going back to save my game. The biggest issue here is the behemoth super mutant, throwing rocks, turning me into soup. At some point, McCready fell off the flippin' Pridwin into the water below and needed rescuing. This guy is more trouble than he's worth, but I love him. Stuck the 43rd stim pack into him and got moving again. It went deep into the next day too. I think an issue I was having was that when I'd sleep in a bed to save, it wasn't really doing much, because some super mutants would just respawn after the sleep for some reason. Not had that happen anywhere else in the playthrough. I'd also looted this revolver sniper from somewhere. It's straight up named a sniper despite looking like a pistol, so I'll allow it. It uses a different ammo type to the other two I've been running around with, so using it for some cheap kills I thought was a good idea. Found a house with a bed nearby, so that's easier than going back to the ship to save. Oh, I took a point into Rifleman while I'm here. Felt like a good time to get more damage in. I'd spotted a boat off in the water the mutants couldn't get to me from, so I swam over and sniped them from there. I can get the behemoth, but he can't seem to target me with his rock throw attack. It's cheap, but I don't even care. The whole point of being a sniper is to not have to get up close and personal. So this is the way I'm going. It ate a lot of my bullets before it died. It has a monstrous size health pool, and my supply of ammo paid in full. I then made the mistake of sleeping to save the kill, and the jerk popped back into existence. Screw this. I've done enough for the Brotherhood. I won't be joining them long term anyways, so let's leave. McCready had also left me. I think the behemoth got him, and I couldn't get a stim pack to him before he left for Good Neighbor. McCready, long time no see. Can you stop ditching me, please? I'm glad at least I don't have to pay his fee every time. It's just pay him once, and he's good for a lifetime. He does want my help with some gunners giving him trouble, though. I'll help after we've gotten some bobbleheads. There's two very close to one another down here on the map. One's at a massive shipwreck, and the other is on this island up here on a smaller boat. These are the luck and agility bobbleheads that add 1 permanent point into those stats, saving me a level I have to spend on them. Some of the special stats I purposely left 1 point away from a perk I wanted, so the bobbleheads would come in handy later. This side of the map I'm not familiar with too well, so hopefully I can find some beds on the way to save progress. Ooh, I recognize this place. It's a small military looking camp. There's some gunners to take down. 3 of them to be specific. 2 more in this building, and there's one tougher than the others. Took a good few headshots to take his big head down. And there's some beds in here. That's a save point halfway sorted. There might be one on that ship too. I can't remember. But I really don't want to die here if I can't find a bed. Running back to hit the bed after a few kills isn't ideal because it's a few minutes run each time. So I'll take my chances, not saving, and just take my sweet time picking off the enemies on the ship. It's riddled with raiders. Taking a shot at one and hiding below the ship to lose their aggro. And pop my head back out to take another cheap shot over and over again. Dying in survival mode and losing 20 minutes of progress is crushing, honestly. So screw that. The big boss here is called Rags. My best friend growing up had a dog called Rags. A scruffy, cute looking thing. It bit me on the butt once and drew blood when we were playing basketball, thinking I was attacking my friend. Good times. Rags is dead, and we can take the agility bobblehead on the far end of the ship. There's a bed to save on the end of the ship, like I thought too, so that's some good news. Now to swim over to that island not far from the ship to get that other boat. This is Spectacle Island. It's a bit of a dump. Going into this boat, just on one of the lockers upstairs, is the luck bobblehead. Less resistance for sure for getting this one. Made it back to the mainland and got the snot smacked out of me by what? I have no idea. But I had to go back and get the luck bobblehead. Let's try that swim again. I'm battered. We should go get ourselves fixed up for sure. At Diamond City, I had the doc fix me up and I bought an antibiotic for the road to go with the other couple I still got. This day was sadly spent not doing much more than traveling, sleeping, and sorted my character out. I'm running low on water. The base produces water not just for my settlers, but also for me. I can actually go into the workbench and simply take out some for me. We don't really have to worry about water as long as we're picking it up from home often. Now that we have those 2 bobbleheads, we can take some extra perks I didn't have access to, like the Bloody Mess perk. Given plus 5% bonus damage, meaning enemies will sometimes explode into a gory red paste. I took 2 points of that for 10% more damage total. Then down to Agility's Ninja perk. Taking 2 of these, so my ranged sneak attacks do 3.5 times normal damage. That's almost double what we did, being 2 times. Spending the second to last perk point saved on Medic to make Stimpaks and Runaway be more effective. And lastly, the third Strongback, so we can run while over encumbered. It costs action points, but still. I'm back for round 2, ship. I'm here to save my game because I just consulted Mr. Google, and the endurance bobblehead is somewhere over there in a place called Poseidon Energy. The outside was right up my alley. Staying at a good distance from raiders, lingering around while sniping with my rifle. But the door to this place is locked, and I can't get access from this side. There's a sewage pipe I can take to go in at the back, but inside is very much not up my alley. Close combat with freaky Mirelurks made me run for my life, only to get punched in the face by one following me through the loading screen. I don't think I need that bobblehead after all. McCready does still need my help though. This is more my pace. We don't have the high ground, but I found the gunners that were giving him trouble, and I'm taking them down with them having no clue what's going on. They're fighting someone else, so they probably think I'm with whoever they're fighting. I'm not, and all I can see from down here are dead. There's an elevator giving access to the bridge up top where more of them are. Taking it up to take a shot at one and pushing the button to go back down to hide and lose detection. There was 2 main guys to take down up here. Winlock and Barnes. That's Winlock down. And down goes Barnes. Screw that guy. For whatever he did. I wasn't paying much attention. McCready's happy, and that's all that matters. Now for the glowing sea. I spent some time gearing up for the rad-filled sea, making sure I'm nice and healthy for my glow bath. The glowing sea takes up a massive portion of the bottom left of the map, and you should prepare more than I did, really. I knew there were beds in here somewhere, but I didn't know exactly where they were. And it aged me about 5 years trying to get through with the stress. It was really quiet on the way to Virgil. Of course, there was some aggro, but not as much as I thought there would be. Oh, I'd also bought this laser sniper rifle from a shop in Diamond City too. It uses fusion cell ammo, so it's just another ammo type to make it me not run out of firepower so easily. Ghouls ran me into the crater of Atom Town, and I asked about Virgil, and was sent further into the glowing sea to find a cave. The cave has a Deathclaw sleeping outside it, but I went in without being spotted by it. I got all the way here without sleeping at all, and that's not something I'm proud of. I'm actually pretty gutted I didn't find a bed on my way. Virgil thought I was here to kill him, but I'm here to ask for his help. He escaped the Institute, so maybe he can help me enter it to find my son. He says Corser synths use a device to get in and out of there, and they're deployed to hunt runaway synths. I need to kill one. They relay in and out, primarily in the ruins of CIT, directly above the Institute. We can follow a radio signal there to find a Corser. Pop the stealth boy to get past the Deathclaw undetected and try to leave the glowing sea. Leaving here didn't go as well as getting through here. I messed up not going after beds directly and just hoping to find one because I just didn't. I got ill and I couldn't run from a rad scorpion. I should have used medicine to allow me to flee, but instead I spammed my sniper in its direction and paid for it. And I respawned to a point before I even entered the glowing sea, losing entirely too much progress. I can't believe it, but I did deserve it. I quit. Yep. No more glowing sea for me for the next couple of days. I spent a good bit of time doing some extremely easy tasks, like taking over this boathouse to expand our settlement reach. I don't plan on doing anything with this settlement, but the job is checked off my quest list. All these little jobs will make me feel better about my ocean-sized failure at the glowing sea.
Careful not to trip over any loose parts, sir.
Guess who's leaving for Good Neighbor again? It's MacCready. We walked into a super mutant camp by accident, and I was having none of that. MacCready, on the other hand, was having all of it. All to himself. The silly sausage. Oh, this guy wants help with super mutants. I guess we are having some of that after all. With sneaky headshots, they're not too hard to kill anymore. Most are one-shots with the Tinker Tom special. Trying to mentally prepare for the glowing sea again while doing some easy jobs. I'll get there. Maybe tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow, and I am indeed heading for the glowing sea. Uh-oh, there's a Deathclaw on the road. I'm just gonna go this way around it. What extra precautions had I taken for the glowing sea? None. I'd taken no extra precautions. But I'll tackle it better this time around. There's a bridge at the edge of the glowing sea with a raider and an attack dog camping out at it. Taking them down leaves their bed open for me to save my game. Now we have a save at the edge of the glowing sea, but we want one in the middle of the sea going through this place. Right around here-ish on the map is a parking garage. I had to Google where it was. In the garage is a few ghouls and a bed to rest at. A couple scorpions to fight, but the first sneak attack takes down the majority of its health, depending on how well placed it is. So killing them aren't that bad. I did get the marker slightly off, but I was close. Here's the parking garage. In here we can pick off the ghouls and rest at this bed. This makes me feel so much better about getting through the glowing sea. I'm also taking Rad-X so we can take a lot less damage from the rads here. It makes me thirsty and all of the meds I'm popping is making my character really tired, but we should be fine. Bit of a panic going into the crater of Atom being chased by scorpions, and I didn't manage to get off a sneak attack on them. Snuck past the Deathclaw to talk to Virgil. I did the whole conversation again about the synth Corser plan and made my way back through this hellish place. I got back to the parking lot. Such a relief making it to this place to rest. I was absolutely battered by the time I made it back out of the sea. So tired that I can't run or move fast in the slightest because I've just not slept. Waiting at a sleeping bag to sleep because there's a rad storm going on and we can't rest while taking radiation damage. I'm gonna have to just rough this one out. This was probably the longest rad storm of my life. At least it felt like it. It's over, and we can sleep a few hours to be able to run again. We can't get well rested at sleeping bags, so we'll have to rest properly at a proper bed at Diamond City. The rest of the day was spent sorting myself out, making food, healing up, resting, the whole lot. This is the CIT site, where we can track a radio signal from the Corser. It threw me off thinking the Corser would be in this building, so I was looking around for an entrance the signal would ping me to, but then I remembered it's not here. It's in a green building down the road called Green Tech Genetics. Ah, this is the one. Throws me off every single time. The Corser is ripping its way through this building, killing gunners, leaving a trail of bodies through its path. But plenty of still beating hearts in our way, apparently. Corser missed some. The Corser is clearly after a runaway synth and couldn't give two about the gunners in his way. I cleared a lot of enemies too. Close to, if not more than 20. I'm not sure. It felt like a lot. Couldn't find a bed, so I left to go down the road to High Rise's tower to save my game. Got overly tired, meaning I needed an extended rest. Woke with parasites too. You not played survival modes? I'd recommend it if you're a fan of pain. Put in the rest of these gunners for a world of pain, just like survival mode has done to me. Last couple of gunners for me to take down, but it sounds like the Corser is having a boatload of fun with the gunners up top. He's pretty menacing and got me into a state of worry too. I remember even abusing VATs in the past. This guy's giving me a good run for my money. He like hides behind a corner to avoid cheap shots. I stuck a psycho in my arm for the extra damage and lured him out. He wants to chat, but I want him to die. Missed the first couple of shots, but the third time's the charm, putting him down to my surprise. There's the Corser chip we needed to gain access to the Institute. The synth the Corser was hunting locked up in here too, so I did let her out, but we're going our separate ways. I got the chip over to the railroad to get it analyzed.
Soft in. Come on. Show me that sweet bass number. Come on, baby. Yeah, we got it. We got the code.
Now I'm to return to Virgil in the glowing sea. But that. I'm spending some time scavenging resources and hanging out to the base. I got some more boxcars built. This is the blue zone opposed to the orange boxcar zone area. I didn't realize the settlement size was nearly capping out too. There's a way around that. You can drop and store weapons in the workbench to manipulate the game into thinking you're creating more space at the settlement, so I'm not too worried about it. Me and Codsworth tore up more of Sanctuary. We'll take these resources back to Starlight Drive for further building. What's the most random thing I've done lately? It's going back for the power armor I left in Concord a while back. It's on the roof of one of these buildings. Yep, there it is. I've not been using these things, but it's the first one you come across in the game, and I just built a display for power armor back at base. And I want to put this sucker up on display. How do we do this? There we go. Nice little addition to my base. I also have these scavenging workstations letting settlers get us more resources, I think. The glowing sea's not gonna swim itself, I guess. Let's go give it some shark bait. That's me. I'm the shark bait. Rested up once again at the bridge on the edge of the glowing sea and legged it for the parking lot from here. Speaking of sharks, there's one with legs about to smack the life out of me. I made it. Not just to heaven, but to the parking lot. I saved the game and ran for the crater of Atom. I'm not sure I had enough Rad-X to get through here and back. So I bought a few off this nut job and carried on to Virgil. Actually decided to try my hand at killing the Deathclaw camping out outside Virgil's cave to make things easier on me. A few sneak attacks with the Tinker Tom specials got its health down by a lot. It can't reach me from here. It just runs for the hills while I try my best to take it down as it runs. It's dead and we can carry on to Virgil. I wasn't listening here. Button mashed my way through the conversation, and now I have no idea what's going on. I do have an objective to talk to one of the factions in the Commonwealth to get help building a signal interceptor. I think that's how we get in. Getting back out of the glowing sea isn't too hard now. It's just extremely tiring with all of the meds I'm taking. There's better ways to get through here for sure. I won't use them, but they exist. I'm not going back anywho, so who cares? What do we have here? It's a blurry wall that I can walk through. At that, I like it. Got myself sorted out in Diamond City again. Got some well-deserved TLC at the Dugout Inn. Stick me, Doc. I need some meds. After some self-care, it's time to head for the railroad. I'm taking all of the important things there, like the Corser chip and such. These toaster lovers are weirdos, but I love them for it. Told them all about how the Institute uses teleportation to get in and out of their base. Tinker Tom gives me a list of things I need to build at a settlement to mess with something or another. No idea what we're doing, to be honest. Found a tunnel. The tunnel had a random trader selling junk. Sorry, buddy. I want to use your bed. Tom suggested a location to take over the railroad to set up the build, but I'd rather not use this place. We have Starlight Drive we could use. Might as well have it there. There was something I had to collect first from the WRVR Broadcast Center called a sensor module. It sounds like a couple's arguing in here. I'm not here for the drama. I'm just here for the module. I took it from their desk and left them to it. It's not my problem. Started building the machines needed behind the bar, but it feels pretty cramped back here, so I'm gonna move it out front a little. Made a stabilized reflector platform, molecular beam emitter, a relay dish, and a control console. The railroad are hanging out at my base to help manage the machine, but oh crap, it's all going south. Or rather, I'm going south. Despite the thing looking like we just stuck a fork in a plug socket, we interfered with the Institute's business and got sent directly into their base. I'm almost immediately talked to over the speakers by someone called Father. It turns out, I'm Father's papa. Yep, I'm a 200-year-old fish finger, but the time since Sean had been defrosted has been 60 years. And through the years, he's become the leader of the group that kidnapped him. He wants me to meet the people here and to join the faction. I've not sided with the Institute in a long time, and I'm going with these guys. I'm curious, what's your favorite faction in the game? Not the one you think's morally the correct side to join, but just in general, let me know who's been your favorite to side with. Made myself at home with the scientists and met everyone I was supposed to. One even fitted my Pip-Boy with a Corser chip to be able to fast travel in and out of the Institute, from wherever I want, whenever I want. It's the only form of fast travel we have available in survival mode. My first job with the faction is actually to help a Corser synth track and retrieve a runaway synth at a pretty cool looking location. I love this place. It's a raider camp, built on boats above the water. Only problem is I can't find a bed that works. Kept trying to save at these things, but they're all dead beds. Dying here would absolutely suck. I saved a while back, and I've killed a lot of enemies since then. Thankfully, towards the end of the place, I found a sleeping bag that wasn't out to screw me over and I could save. The Corser pulls me for a chat before we get to the runaway synth, tells me the factory reset code to say to shut down the synth to allow for safe transport back to the Institute. Met with 3 people at the top of the Tower of Junk at the end of the boat camp. One was the synth.
B592, initialize factory reset, authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
And blasted the other 2 raiders out of the game. The Corser takes him back to the Institute, and I'm not far behind them. Father, my son, has prepared me some quarters to sleep at here in the Institute if I want. Lucky me, I have my own room. Then Father and me discussed the railroad and how the railroad looked to free synths. There's a load of synths at Bunker Hill, and there's about to be a war there between the Institute, Railroad, and the Brotherhood of Steel. I can go warn either the Railroad or the Brotherhood if I want, but I'm going right there to retrieve and factory reset the synths and return them back to the Institute. The funny thing is here that everybody knows me and loves me to bits. I'm friendly with all of these factions, and while they're at each other's throats around me, I can just walk on by everyone without a care in the world. Went down into the bunker where the fighting continued and made it past all of it without being in any danger whatsoever. And simply shut down all of the synths, and then sent them all back to the Institute. Brilliant. Nobody cares in the slightest, even after I'd done that. I met Father on top of the CIT building I started my hunt for that Corser a while back at. He's not been above ground at all since everything started, he says. He says the Commonwealth is dead, and there's no future here. The only hope for human life lies below. You also discover here that it was your son who released you from the cryopod at the start of the game. You wanted to see what would happen. He's off back to the Institute. And so was I. We have a meeting with Father, some other scientists, where he announces that he's dying and wants me to be his successor. The other scientists aren't happy about it, but he's putting me in a position of power for the next job to show that I'm capable. We're going to relay to the mass fusion location. Doing so will make us a permanent enemy of the Brotherhood of Steel going forward. The plan being, the Institute is ready to initiate Phase 3 of its long-term plans. Phase 3 involves starting a new mass reactor that should resolve the Institute's ongoing power needs. We need a device called the beryllium agitator to jumpstart the reactor, and it's at the mass fusion tower. We relay on the very top of the building, and to say this guy jump-scared the life out of me would be describing the situation mildly. I had a very hard time with this place. Death, followed by death, followed by more death. I started to have successful attempts at clearing the top of the tower, picking off the Brotherhood one by one from the shadows. But the device we came here for has been moved. Taking the elevator down the tower, but I was a sitting duck for the Brotherhood to shoot at me freely in the broken elevator. I died. Second attempt down the elevator was better. I used a stealth boy to go invisible for half of the ride down, and then my second and last stealth boy for the rest of the trip. Hid in a side room, but only managed to kill 2 before a jerk with power armor on came in to ruin my day, so I rage quit. I'll try again later. Only thing I can say about day 54 was that I went to find dog meat. Nothing can cheer me up more than a puppa's, and this one is the goodest one in the Commonwealth. You find him at the Red Rocket near Sanctuary. I've already met him with the Finding Kellogg quest, but if we go here, we can pick him up as a follower. Hopefully he's more capable than MacCready. There's one more thing I want that, fingers crossed, will make my life easier going forward. I want to go around here somewhere on the map to visit Vault 81. Vault 81 is a fully functioning vault we can interact with. There's a trader there that sells a weapon called the Overseer's Guardian. It's a sniper rifle, and I want it. The vault, I forgot, has a job we have to do for us to be able to enter. They're understandably shocked over the intercom that I have a Pip-Boy trying to enter, and say they let me in to trade if I can get them free fusion cores. That is something I've just been selling, I'm not gonna lie. You can buy cores from traders, but for that price, I'm not looking to buy anymore. 580 caps. I consulted the internet's most reliable source of information, Reddit, and for not the first time ever, I was lied to. I read you can get a fusion core at Grey Garden, a Mr. Handy filled farm, but I couldn't find one here. Arcjet is another place I'd been told has one. We went here earlier with Paladin Dance of the Brotherhood of Steel, so it's all clear. I'm just hoping there's no Brotherhood members since we aren't besties anymore. I'm also hoping the core's still there and I didn't take it my first run around and sold it. Nope, it's still here. Perfect. Reddit's telling me there's another one at the Red Rocket truck stop where we found dog meat. Just behind, there's a mole rat hole. There's no mole rats because I killed and ate them previously, but the core is still there on the ground. I wasn't sure of that one. I was sure I'd taken it. But that's free cores collected. Now back to Vault 81, we're granted access and head on in to meet the dwellers living on the inside. Oh, I'm falling through the ground. I'm dead.
Damn it.
Or not.
I'm not going to like this.
I'm not dead. Closing the door to the elevator and opening it seems to fix it. The dwellers are fine. I'm just here to trade. The sniper costs significantly more caps than I currently have, sadly, so I guess we're off to make a few thousand caps. Dogmeat will also grab enemies like this, allowing me to get an easy shot on them. He's also pretty good at falling off crap, just like MacCready. I'm still friends with the Railroad for now, so we have plenty of Radiant quests to do with them to make caps. The main one is placing these devices up high for Tinker Tom. What do they do? I have no idea. The pay's not great, but we make more from scavenging loot to sell to Tom too. Day 57 was spent side questing still. It's taken a while. I've been pretty poor this whole playthrough. I've not made great financial decisions. The cap scavenging continues. There's better ways to make caps, I'm sure. But I'm exploring, and I'm having fun doing it this way. I'm at Parkview Lounge near Diamond City, where there's raiders and super mutants having a scrap. I'm butting in because they're sitting on prime Mila placed-in territory. I don't want to talk about how many tries it took me to get through here. It's embarrassing, but I got all of the enemies killed in the end and got the Mila placed on the top of the building. I'm at just under 3,000 caps saved. I'll have the caps by the end of the day. Day 59 was an interesting one. I got enough caps to buy the Overseer's Guardian. Got hauled by a big bear, spawn killing me right outside the vault. Realized the Guardian was flipping fully auto and worked on getting that changed up. Biggest thing was the Brotherhood of Steel turning up at my doorstep at Starlight Drive. Who won the fight? Love me some Fallout explosions. Only thing I changed with the sniper rifle was the receiver, making it a hardened receiver. It does more damage and it's no longer fully automatic. Oh, and I added an Enclave skin to it, giving it some red to its look. It looks awesome. Bought me a good bit of .45 rounds. They're pretty easy to come across, so ammo won't be too much of a problem going forward. I sold the Tinker Tom special and kept just the Overseer's Guardian and a laser sniper. The cell rounds that it consumes will be just backup, so I'm not caught with my pants down using one kind of ammo out in the field. You find fusion cells everywhere in this game too, so it's a good backup weapon. This sniper is nice. It fires an additional projectile, but the scope is zoomed out more than I'm used to for sure. Again, I'm trying to get an item here to jumpstart a reactor for the Institute to get more power. The sniper did make it easier. It fires quicker than the Tinker Tom special and has more rounds than the laser rifle, so it's really nice. Powered my way all the way down the tower and found a door that lets us leave the building. This is great. It means we can save our progress at Good Neighbor around the corner, and I never have to do what I just did ever again. Went back in after my rest, feeling much more confident. I'm getting really close to the item we need. I went into some sort of decontamination tunnel and opened to a room more rad-filled than the glowing sea. I found a hazmat suit just before entering the room. Should have known I'd need it. This'll come in handy going forward into the rest of the game too. In the room has a machine holding the beryllium agitator. Taking it, the security in the room activates and sends me to the Shadow Realm. I was ready for it the second time around, ran out of the room like a chicken, and picked off the security from a safe location. Left the radiated room to be met by lots and lots and lots of machines. Sentry bot got blown into oblivion, and the assault gongs were far behind it. These guys weren't a problem, but the Brotherhood of Steel's still here. Thankfully, there are a lot of synths sent by the Institute, and I just had to play support, really. Didn't get much aggro at all, and that's the mission complete, and we can return to Father at the Institute. I can't remember this part of the game. It must have been ages since I've done the Institute side of things, because it feels so new to me. We are to make our presence in the Commonwealth known, and to have a show of force. I read a script to be played across the Wasteland, and visited Diamond City so we can mess with their radio systems to play our recordings. There's a lot going on here, and I'm retaining not a lot of information. But we're also plotting to eliminate the Brotherhood of Steel and the Railroad. I'm on my way to the headquarters to ruin Desdemoda's eyeballs by putting a bullet or two between them. I had a sleep in the bed of the HQ while I'm still in their good books to save, and planted a .45 round into the Toast of Sympathizer's head. And paid for it. I killed a few more of the crew, but got killed by a few random unnamed agents. I was a little more efficient with my time the second attempt. I got 3 of them before they even knew what was going on, and slowly picked off the others while Dogmeat got all of the attention. But I'm not done with the Railroad, and sadly I've lost this save point. The high-rise tower can still be used. We just have to clear it out. Railroad agents have heard of my betrayal, and I wasn't met with a high five or fist bump. I was met with the need for revenge. Revenge they didn't get. They're dead, and we can still use this building to sleep. Dogmeat's turning into a good little soldier. I finally get to use the tower at my base to snipe somebody. Deacon's been living here, and he's the last member of the Railroad I have to take down. He had no idea what hit him, and my settlers didn't seem to care he was gone. Now, Father says it's time to take it to the Brotherhood, but I'm not quite ready. I need to get some ammo built up for my sniper rifle. The plan is to relay to the airport they base at. You spawn in a ruined building with a nice sniping position. This sniper doesn't have a silencer, so I'm less sneaky, but I can still stay reasonably undercover while taking them down. There's a rad storm going on too, really setting the tone for the job. It felt like the entire run has built up to this moment. I have a great sniper, and I'm taking great positions to pop off good shots, circling around the Brotherhood. One gun taking down an entire army with them barely seeing me. Well, a missile clipped my heel, so I was spotted a few times, but it was pretty perfect. Again, circling around the airport, picking them off best I could. I was here a while. I wanted to take out as many as I could before leaving to create a new save point. Felt like I cleared a lot, but there was way more to come. I relayed to the Institute to rest in my room and make a save, which was a mistake. I'm getting enemies respawning every time I come back after doing that. I'd say the biggest problem with these guys, with the missile guys, you hear the missile coming and that's it. It's hard to escape its blast. I spent a ridiculous amount of time on the outer area, but I did make it deep into the airport to destroy these things. Not a clue what I'm doing, but doing it gets me a couple of synths to help the fight. 3 of them to destroy, and by the end of taking them down, I now have an army of synths, and the Brotherhood are littering the place with reinforcements. See, they have a powerful robot here called Liberty Prime, and we're trying to make it target the Pridwin ship. We have to protect a synth hacker near a computer from the Brotherhood. Everyone is here. Paladin Dance and Elder Maxon is even down here trying to stop us. But their attempts were for nothing, because they're all dead. And Prime is on our side. He blasts the ship with his powerful laser beam, and I get relayed away from danger by the Institute. Now we just watch as the Pridwin takes its fall to the ground, and that's the threat gone. Now we have to talk to Father. But this is the end of the main questline. Father's illness has progressed, and today we lose him. I think I prefer any of the other endings, really, but this was still fun. I'm now the leader of the Institute, but I still have lots I want to do. I spent some time sorting out my character at Diamond City. I'm here because I heard the Institute synths show up at the end of the decisions I made, and yeah, they are out in full force. And so is Christmas! It's that time of the year in the Commonwealth. Santa's gonna be here any day now. Had a good few days from bigger quest things. It's just about time. I went hunting. I'm running low on food, so we would do. There's 2 Deathclaws duking it out. I'm gonna swoop in and take advantage of their low health when they're done. Ah, they've given up on each other. Okay. Guess both kills are mine. It's always terrifying to fight these suckers. Deathclaws and ghouls freak me out in this game, and I love it. Gonna make some Deathclaw steaks. Rad stags weren't safe either, as well as the mongrel dog population. Pretty successful food gathering day, I'd say. Most noteworthy thing I did on day 68 was annoy Piper with the Institute shenanigans. She's not happy with me and how the main storyline went down. I did her stupid interview she'd been asking me to do for God knows how long and sent her to the Red Rocket settlement because nobody lives there. I got some perk points to spend. 8 of them I've been hoarding, so I'm taking the 3rd medic perk, 4th rifleman, 3rd bloody mess, 2nd and 3rd life giver, and I think I'll save the other 3 for now. There's a bobblehead called the Charisma bobblehead you get from visiting the Cabot house and doing the quest line attached to the location. I can't remember exactly where to find the house, but I'm going in the right general direction, hopefully. I'm so freaking dumb. I've already found it, and it's marked on my Pip-Boy. Normally there's a sentry bot here. I love the sentry bot because the oldest memory I have of it, I shot at it thinking it was aggressive and it killed me pretty good. It's, however, friendly if you're friendly. He seems to have died to some assaultrons attacking it before I got here this time. I find this quest hilarious because you interact with the intercom at the door and hear from a ghoul called Edward telling me to get lost.
I told you to go away.
Up yours.
But then I consulted Mr. Google to see what to do, and it told me to head for Bunker Hill, just up the road. We've been here a few times, but here you find Edward, the ghoul we talked to over the intercom. He says to head for the Cabot house now.
Come on in.
Where you find Edward. This quest is a lot of fun. It does glitch out a lot, so hopefully we won't have that problem. First things first, we have to help Jack Cabot get his serum back. There was some raiders up north who'd gotten their hands on it, just free to kill, and the serum is ours. This is where the quest would sometimes bug out. I find out after helping get Jack's sister back from some cultists that the serum is actually an anti-aging serum. That door will open, but Emogene won't always be there, and there's no way to progress the quest. That is the bug. She's here this time.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
Edward's having trouble in an asylum up north. Me and Jack are off to sort things out. Well, right after I get done running around looking for a doctor to fix my illness that's making me take periodic damage. The doctor at the Institute won't talk to me about fixing me up some reason, and the doctor in Good Neighbor wants nothing to do with me for siding with the Institute. The doctor in Diamond City always has my back though. He doesn't care what side I'm on. The serum we got is derived from the blood of Lorenzo Cabot, Jack Cabot's father, who's locked up in the asylum up north. There's some raiders in the asylum trying to release the jerk after they've been scouting out the asylum and brute forcing their way past Jack's mercenaries. His dad, back in 1894, discovered an artifact from an excavation that granted him lots of powers, like immortality, anti-aging, and lots of superhuman abilities. He's been shut away in the asylum for a while. This is why I'm here. Next to Edward bleeding out on the ground is the Charisma bobblehead. Now that we got that free level up, I'm taking Charisma's newly unlocked Lone Wanderer. When adventuring without a companion, you take 15% less damage, and carry rate is increased by 50 points. I put 2 points into that and considered dipping. I went as far as leaving Jack for about 42 seconds before coming back to see the quest through. I'm not sure when I'll get to do the quest again with the bug, so why not? Follow Jack further into the asylum, fighting raiders and exploring the prison cells. It'll make for a good place to save my game. You have 2 options here. Either you help Jack kill his father for good by poisoning him, or you free his dad. Both give you special rewards, like Jack giving you Lorenzo's artifact gun, or Lorenzo giving you his mysterious serum, giving you increased strength, endurance, radiation resistance, and damage resistance. I flipped 3 of the 4 levers to poison Lorenzo, and then changed my mind and released him at the last minute. Was that a good idea? I don't have a clue, but it's too late now. Jack's fled, and Lorenzo wants us to go kill him. I've betrayed so many friends in this video so far. The Railroad, the Brotherhood, Jack Cabot, and now Lorenzo. Yep, I'm back at the Cabot house, and I've switched sides once again. Saying the choice I made back there was the wrong one, Lorenzo turns up at the house out of nowhere, saying the family have fed off him like vampires to extend their lives, and enough is enough. He has a lot of health. Feels like the toughest enemy I fought since the Super Mutant Behemoth fight. There was a lot of healing up and dodging shots hiding near a door. But we did take him down in the end. Banged his head on the railing a few times before talking to Jack. That was a hard fight. Jack says to return in a week to see about a reward. I might forget. I might not. But for now, I'm shopping, looking for a Gaus rifle. I think that's how you say it. After you hit a certain level, they become available at merchants, and I really want one. But I can't see one for sale here. I'll check traders when I pass them. I'll find one eventually. Not like I have the caps for one yet anyways.
Hiya, kids. Remember, Nuka-World is only open for a few more weeks in October. Come down and see me and Cappy one last time before buckling down for the winter.
This was the biggest mistake of my life, or at least of the last week or two in-game. I love the Nuka-World DLC so much, but I struggled in this playthrough with the start of it. You gotta go far west to the Nuka-World transport hub where you can clear out some raiders to take a ride over to Nuka-World. You get tricked by this knob. He's not actually hurt. He convinces you to go to Nuka-World to save his family. He's really just trying to lure people into the gauntlet. The gauntlet is reached by taking this rail on down to Nuka-World. And the gauntlet is relentless to no end. There is traps everywhere, and enemies to go along with it. I was extremely careful the entire way to this bridge that breaks below your feet, dropping you into a mirelurk pit. One of them smacks the crap out of me, sending me back to the start. Yep, I'm done. Or so I thought I was done. The power's off, and I can't take the train back to the Commonwealth. I speed ran back through, managing to kill even the mirelurks and get deeper into the gauntlet. However, resurfacing into the maintenance shed, there was some flying ant swarms that when shot, got peed off pretty good and one tapped the life out of me. I'm dead. And this time I have a save point back just before I took the train here. Screw this place. I'm gonna check off some quests from my Pip-Boy. We have a clear super mutants quest from one of Preston's settlement hunts. Other than simple quest completing, I got this new laser sniper that does more damage than my old one. It's night vision and overcharged. It does 156 damage. I'll switch to this and the Overseer's Guardian as my two main weapons. Ooh, Preston's giving me the castle quest. This one's a fun one. Down south, you find a ruined castle overran by mirelurks. Me and the Minutemen work on clearing it, but a mirelurk queen shows up. I remember having trouble with this lady before, but taking a med-X will reduce the damage you take from poison by a lot. So its ranged poisonous ball attack won't do much, and she can't enter the inner walls of the castle. So she's easy pickings, really. She's dead, and screw this place. Just like Nuka-World. I wanted to maybe move here since it's a nice settlement, but I'm having a bug where I can't seem to build very easily here. I had to leave the game and reload a couple of times to put down 2 generators to power the radio here. It's safe to say I won't be back here to move in, but I'll be back here in roughly 3 days to meet Ronnie Shaw. Time to kill a few days. Preston wants a radio beacon built at Hangman's Alley. I've already made quick work of the raiders here, a previous day, weeks and weeks ago. I did some scrounging around, gathering resources to make it, and that's the job done. As usual, he has another settlement that needs my help.
I'll mark it on your map.
I remember this one, specifically because of this corn. Looks a little bit like turds. I'd recommend you don't eat corn if it looks like this. Turns out I'd already killed the raiders that were giving this guy trouble. Not the foggiest when I did it, but it's done. A lot of walking today. We can travel to the Institute and back out of the to the CIT building to cut travel some, but still a fair bit of walking back and forth to do. Preston's endless supply of settlement quests had to go to a place called Outpost Zimonja. There was a guy called Boomer. Let me tell you something. He had a fat boy making this fight stressful when I got spotted. I retreated to get a better view from a bridge and got some nice sneak attacks on everyone from afar. This stuff will sell for a nice chunk of caps. Got the settlement sorted and went back to talk to Preston. I was given yet another settlement quest like you'd expect. That can wait for a minute. I'm selling that stuff. I killed a legendary doggo today, giving me a plasma-infused 50 cal hunting rifle. I'll have to add a scope to that later and try it out. I've got this place to clear out. This is the DLC vault you can build in. I'm not here for that, I'm just here to kill the raiders. Took about 3 minutes to get them all. Radiation here is bad with the water and waste barrels, so I'm taking them out in my hazard suit. They're dead, and we can tell Preston the good news. I'm also done with settlement help, for now. Day 80 was a fun one. I returned to Cabot's house and got the reward he said to return for later. But it's a plasma pistol hairdryer looking thing, and I don't want to use it. But I did add a scope to the goop gun, and even found a plasma sniper for sale. If I want goop, then I'm not sure I really need that goop gun, because this new sniper seems to have plenty of that. It feels good to shoot, and leaves plenty of green sludge there where there was once people. The 50 cal does have some, how they say, oomph to it. big kick, and it's very satisfying to shoot. I shouldn't really walk around with 4 different snipers at once. This will weigh me down a lot. He says, as he doesn't downsize his sniper collection even 1 bit for this next part. Now back at the castle, we can find someone called Ronnie Shaw, so let's get on over. She's an old Minuteman who's been on vacation after the group went to crap. He's back now that there's a new general and wants us to get past this vault door looking thing. We have to clear some rubble to go under the castle. Bought a big machine called Sarge and didn't live to tell about it. I got him, but the explosion took me out too, and it's game over. Take 2, I got out of range of the explosion, and Sarge is no longer with us. We opened the door from the other side, and now we have access to the armory, where we can get lots of ammo and weapons. Even have artillery now. Artillery that I won't be using. Ronnie, however, now becomes a trader, and has a Gaus rifle called the Last Minute. It costs considerably more caps than I have, so I'll have to come back for it. I did invest some perks today into Cap Collector. 2 points into it, making my buying and selling power at vendors be better. I got the last ninja perk, and also got my hands on the Fortune Finder perk, so we find more caps out in the wild looting containers. Just a day of looting and selling for me. Shouldn't take long to get enough caps for that last minute weapon. Spent almost all of day 84 over encumbered. I have a lot of stuff to sell, and I refuse to throw away any of it. I also almost immediately forgot I'd taken those perks to lower the cost of things at vendors. So I was still aiming for that near 80k cap price tag, but it was much lower, and I didn't need that much caps. Bittersweet because I now have the rifle, but I wasted time gathering too many caps to try to afford it. It cost 5,200-ish caps, and my word, is it amazing. It uses 2 electromagnetic cartridge rounds, and I don't have many of them after buying out Ronnie. I want to use it. I want to put it to the test. It does a staggering 457 damage. Earlier we got rock slammed by Swan, a powerful enemy at Swan's Pond. Near the rail tunnel we found the vault Valentine was stuck in ages ago. I got the sleeping Swan in my sights and charged up the last minute, releasing the trigger and killing it in just 1 shot. I then proceed to get a hit marker on a raider with it. Not a clue how that happened. I bought some more ammo for the last minute in Diamond City, but we need a finale. I was thinking Nuka-World earlier, but that went downhill when we met those Ents. I'm off to Far Harbor. This DLC has started at Diamond City, in Nick Valentine's office, talking to Ellie. She says there's a missing person I need to look into. Heading very far north to the Nakano residence, where we meet the family of a missing daughter. The daughter, turns out, thinks she's a synth, and heard of a safe haven for synths, and ran across the water to a place called Acadia at Far Harbor. We can take her parents' boat up to that place. We arrive at night. It's dark and foggy. Stepping off the boat, you don't get the best welcome either. No time to chat because the town's under attack by the resident Gulpers. I love this part of the DLC. First time I played, I had some genuine hairs stand up on the back of my neck, having gone in totally blind the first time around, not knowing what to expect from the fog. The leader of this town says the girl we're after has for sure came through and tells me I should ask Longfellow for help. He's a pretty stand-up guy, hanging out in the plank bar. Takes me deeper into the island with us fighting all sorts of enemies and bumping into a cultist from the Children of Atom. I button mashed through the dialogue and stuck a couple .45 rounds in the sod. I've already decided what I'm doing with the DLC and with the Institute. Acadia is home of plenty of synths, including a manipulative demon. This guy has a lot going on about him, but we should report this to the Institute. There is a lot of synths here. Oh, I found Kasumi, too, the girl we were after. She's fine. I'm not interested in following up on her story, really.
My mom and dad...
It does feel a bit soon to be ratting them out. There's a good 12 days left, and there's a load of things I should have done sooner in this playthrough. A big one was get vertebird access. You get it the fastest by just doing the Brotherhood questline a little further than the point I was at. Obviously, they're dead now, and that's not happening. You can still get vertebirds from the railroad, who's also dead. And the Minutemen, who's not so dead. Google's throwing me off. Says I should be able to buy the vertibird signal grenades from Ronnie Shaw, but I'm not seeing them in her inventory. Went to go clear up some of the quests I had going with the group. I have a few, I just have to go tell Preston I finished, so maybe that will do it. I'd somehow gotten free quests from them on the go, all at once. The old guns, one from Ronnie, a settlement one from Preston, and I also heard another settlement needed help over the radio at the castle. Build on sea vertibird grenades for sale after doing that. I'm wondering if the choices I've made when I made them make me not be able to get vertibirds full stop now. Turns out I did have like a good few more Minutemen looking objectives to get on with, but I don't see why these ones would affect the progress in getting a vertibird. Maybe I just have to wait a while to get them for sale now, or a quest attached to them? Not a clue. Either way, lots of running around doing quests, trying to appease the vertibird gods. Even still had the sanctuary quest to do. I'm making beds, water sources, and planting food. I have no doubt this will help, not at all, with me trying to do what I want to do. But just in case it's blocking me from getting vertibirds, I did it. Surprise, surprise, Preston has another settlement that needs my help. One more, Preston.
We wiped out that super mutant
One
raiding
more.
party. They won't.
I used this place to sleep a few times. It's off near the Brotherhood's Pridwin wreckage to the eastish of the map. This guy wants us to clear up a house to use as a settlement. It's riddled with ghouls, like the other 98% of the map's locations. Got some close range sniper action. Not sure how that guy missed me. Physically felt my character move back when he took that swing, blasted through the rest, and claimed the base as our own. I told this guy to get his butt over there. I'll never see him again. Just when I think I'm out, they find a way to drag me back in. The castle has spotted some hostiles around and are expecting an attack. Got myself over there and got some defenses down ready. The walls became plastered with super mutants, and this was actually a load of fun. Similar to the Skyrim Civil War quests, where you defend or attack a location while you watch the percentage go up until it hits 100% of super mutants being murdified. There was plenty of sniping opportunity on top of the castle walls and lots of satisfying explosions to admire. I love this fight. Only thing that would have made it better would be a behemoth super mutant attack, but it didn't happen. One last check, and Ronnie doesn't have the signal grenades for sale. I'm probably being stupid, usually am. Well, I said I wasn't wanting to do the Far Harbor stuff, but we'll push the quest line until day 100, and I'll betray the crap out of the synths there. Dima had given away a powerful base to the children of Atom to try to achieve peace between the two sides. Now there's a new leader there threatening Dima. Dima's oldest memories are actually stored in the base somewhere, and nobody knows what the memories hold. But it could be dangerous for the children of Atom to get their stinky radiated hands on. Baffing around the island, heading off to their base, trying to manipulate my way in. They want me to do some weird stuff to be allowed into their base. But I had to do an ammo restock. It's expensive, but it needs to be done. The children of Atom had me sipping from this spring that made me start tripping like you wouldn't believe, following this shadow lady. It led me across the island a ways to this location filled with ghouls to kill and an item called the mother icon that the children would no doubt love to see. They believe who I seen was the mother of the fog, who's the messenger of Atom, apparently. I played along like crazy here, but I didn't care in the slightest. This DLC is harsh in survival mode. The extra rads you soak up is massive, and having to take meds on the road more makes you tired, and time just passes so much faster. All of the things building up needing attention. Luckily, there's an alchemist here at the nucleus, where the children of Atom live that will cure you of the rads, surprisingly. I got this new sniper from one of them. It had the shortest lifespan in my arsenal out of any sniper I'd had this entire playthrough. We again manipulate our way through to the back of the nucleus. It's hugely protected by machines. The children of Atom haven't made it past all of this stuff, so it's my turn now. It was this hallway I decided this weapon isn't for me. I have plenty of other snipers I like much better. Like this powerhouse the last minute, blasting my way through assaultrons and other deadly bots. That was until I made it to the end of the location where a legendary assaultron invader tried its hardest to ruin my life. The Gaus rifle was doing a lot of damage to it, but I'm a one-tap from this monster, no matter what. The Overseer's Guardian was nice for spamming shots, but again, it got the better of me. The Plasma Sniper Rifle managed to break its legs, having it crawl, which was equally as terrifying, I might add, but it blasts me good with its eyeballs from the ground, or whatever that was. The successful attempt had me hit it once and retreat to lose aggro. Then I came back and got a nice sneak attack on the sucker, taking it down. Now we can access Dima's memories. Well, kinda. So we have to unlock them by doing a puzzle, clearing the way for these little mites to get the memories and return them back to us. I had a lot of fun doing this. There's 3 puzzles I did, and I learned he hid things, like the key to the nucleus missile that's buried inside the Children of Atom's home, among other things, like him isolating the wind turbine, powering Far Harbor's fog condensers, and a kill switch command that will leave them defenseless from the fog. There's some things on this island that could cause some chaos for sure. If I had more time, I think I'd destroy all of them for the funsies, but I'm leaving it a little bit late. I left the nucleus and headed back to the Commonwealth. Just getting on with survival mode business today. Another thing I should have done sooner was think about getting some more water purifiers down so we generate more water passively. I'd have to return less often if I did that, but it's okay, because I may do. 3 shots, 3 kills. Brotherhood have mostly been eliminated, but there's still some wandering around the map. I'll strip them and sell their stuff. It's not what it looks like over here in the castle. I promise I'm not looking for signal grenades again. I'm here to sell this Brotherhood stuff. Honest. They didn't have signal grenades though, if you're curious. Spent day 97 getting that key for the nucleus missile. Info on the key was at a super mutant hideout along the side of the Far Harbor Island. This legendary super mutant on the inside caught me with my pants down, forcing me to turn my sniper into a hip-fire minigun. I lived! Which is more than I can say about the children of Atom tomorrow. Maybe I will have time to destroy these rad lovers after all. Found out where the key's location was over a terminal recording. It was underwater in a boat safe. Nuclear launch key. Perfect. I headed for the nucleus with the key and went on in to find out where I launched this sucker. It was in the boss's headquarters. I plugged in the key and was tasked with escaping the area next to avoid the explosions. Now, I spent a lot of time in menus, and to my surprise, the 30-second countdown seemed to continue when I thought it would pause in those menus. Time passed, stopping me from being able to escape in time, and got caught in the blast. Second time around, I spent 0 time in menus. Rushed out of the base, turning around to witness the epic blast. I'd never done this in the DLC before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I was hoping for cool explosions, and I wasn't let down. Time's ticking. It's ticking away while I'm pottering around the island for the last couple of days. I made a mistake, I think. Throughout the playthrough, I made plenty of mistakes, actually. I think not reporting Acadia to the Institute sooner was a big one. I went about my day, not too worried about it on day 99. But when day 100 rolled around, I went back to the Institute to report Acadia, and things hit a bit of a roadblock. See, I was reading online how people weren't always getting the Forbidden Knowledge quest right after reporting Acadia to this guy, and they'd have to wait a week or so in-game for it to pop. Or just advance the quest line more before getting it. That's time I, sadly, don't have.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, Dima. I'm in the Institute.
That's quite an admission to make.
I confronted Dima. He was upset I blew up the nucleus and didn't try to get peace between everyone on the island. I told him straight, I'm with the Institute. He asked I don't tell them about Acadia. And this is where my story ends. With no time left, we might never know what I do about this place. Nope, I totally continue to be Team Institute. Thanks for watching. You guys take care. I'll see you around.